Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped, back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, I have some tickets. I have lots and lots and lots of tickets. As you can see, I haven't popped anything for 60 days. Almost 2 months of not using my tickets. Like, what the hell have I been doing? So, in today's video, we're basically just going to have a chat about the game. I want to have a bit of a rant on the tag system and its pros and its cons, because like I'm a big advocate for the tag system, but I also have a lot of problems with it right now. But we had a bit of a rant on that, and then I also want to do a little bit of discussion on what you guys want to see from events when it comes to team building for particular events, because obviously we have the Super Boss for Mihawk Corona coming out as of me recording this video. It's literally today, and just sort of what you guys want to see in terms of team building for accessible teams or no new batch teams when it comes around. So I'm always under the, well, before we like actually start rambling, let's actually dive in. Now I've got 60 mails to get through. We obviously have like login tickets, summer tickets, treasure map rewards, all that fun stuff. But starting off with the how the game's going thing, I'm sort of in the camp of, if I tell you to summon for the character, and I'm a big advocate for summoning for the character, then I usually say, hey, that's free play for putting them on the team. On top of that, if the character has been out for a very long time, say, for example, utilizing a One Piece Day character from the last One Piece Day celebration for like versus Luffy or something like that, I feel like that's definitely on the cards, because the characters come back on banners that I have said summon for. Now, obviously, there are going to be situations where you miss some characters. For example, you might miss Roger Rayleigh Gaban, you might have got the Rocks Pirates, you missed the Rocks Pirates, but you got Roger Rayleigh Gaban, and obviously that is going to be a little bit situational depending on the person. But look, feel free to jump into the DMs, jump into the comment section, let us know what you're missing. And look, lots of people like to comment on comments, and I always try to get around to the ones that I can get to. But remember, members do get access to like customized help team, like customized team building. So if you want to become a member for literally $1 a month, it's cheap as chips. You can always shoot me a DM, say, hey, Stump, I'm one of your members. Can you help me out a little bit here? Obviously, I am pretty busy with being a dad and all that kind of stuff, so I will try and get to everyone as quickly as possible, and I will try and help you out. But like I said, the membership, it is there for a reason. So I feel like the best way to approach it is to kind of, like I said, use characters that I tell you guys to summon for. Obviously, for example, something like Nami and the Otama Yamato, I'm not including them in most of my no new unit teams, because I don't tell people to summon for those characters. Even stuff like Ace and the Robin and Crocodile, even though I have those characters, I usually leave them out because I tell you guys, hey, this is not a banner to be summoning on. Where the Super Sugo characters and the Anniversary Exclusive characters, I usually say, hey, go for gold here and use your gem. So, like I said, let me know in the comment section below what you guys want to see for teams. Obviously, I can't do like 1,000 billion teams for everything. Like, I love team building, and that's why I like to do so many videos on different situations. But look, I think capping like 3 videos per like event, so say for example the 10-star event for Kazuna, doing say like a batch and like batch combinations, a no new batch that don't use any of the newer characters, and then maybe something like no supports or very old characters from like the new celebration back, say no 2025 characters, something like that could be on the cards too. So like I said, let me know in the comment section below what you guys want to see there, and I'll do my best to try and get around to that. So I thought that was a pretty good talking point. As for these tickets, haven't been going too great as we've been rambling on. Obviously, new legends would be great, but at the end of the day, level limit break fodder like this right here is pretty much what we're also looking for. Characters that have super specials in Rumble, exactly like Usopp and Lilith, is a perfect example of what I'm actually searching for. Characters like Christmas Uta, damn, I'd love like 2 more copies of Christmas Uta to get her to 150. Like, that would just be absolute gold. But then, like I said, obviously newer characters. I think from memory, okay, that's a good dupe. Mine is already 150 though, so damn. If I'm gonna get anything, that's a bit off. Either way though, still a very good dupe. Just, yeah, like I said, Christmas Uta. Yeah, more Usopp Lilith actually. For 150 Usopp Lilith would be crazy. Sanji and Nami's another really good one. Just trying to think what the what legends would be included on the last month's batch. Maybe Bonnie. It's probably still too early for Bonnie, right? Who was before Bonnie? I actually cannot remember. Let me know in the comment section below, because like it might come to me, we might see the character and it might pop up, but this Corona is actually fantastic. These summer tickets as well. Some of these characters have exceptional supports, like this support right here for 1.5 times defense down conditional. Very good. Exceptional in Grand Voyage as well too. So these summer outfit characters, as you guys saw, I picked up Alvida, fantastic. Hina is a very good one. She has exceptional support. So don't go selling these characters because you think they might like look like trash. They have great usage and great supports. Like this chopper, for example, 70% HP cut, great for stun removal on the final stage too. So hopefully your tickets are going well. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys pulled any new legends within the last sort of 30 days, or any like level limit break fodder dupes you needed for like Grand Voyage levels, PvP, all that fun stuff too. So let me know down below. But the crux of what I wanted to really talk about in today's video is the tag system. So since the release of Whitebeard and Ace, we had a very, very cool mechanic that if you use particular characters under Whitebeard and Ace, you have the opportunity to get different abilities. For example, if you use a Marco underneath Whitebeard and Ace, you activate HP Guard. And that goes for any Marco. Doesn't matter what Marco it is. Doesn't matter what Marco does. He will also activate HP Guard, provided you don't have Despair or anything like that under Whitebeard and Ace. And this particular ability just seems like so much fun for the game. And obviously, like at the end of the day, fun factor should like override anything when it comes to playing the game. Because like at the end of the day, it is a game. But since then, we have had like different instances where characters that belong to different crews and belong to certain tags that collate in the manga and the anime, like this VB, fantastic support, should sort of co-align and do different things depending on what we have. So since then, they released the tag system, and the tag system on paper seems incredibly fun. For example, if you have certain tags of, say, Straw Hat characters, you get extra buffs. It opens the door to just so many different variations when it comes to team building, and it obviously allows you to get a lot of extra abilities when it comes to team building as well, because you can just sort of funnel in particular characters of certain tags to get extra abilities off. For example, Ace needing Whitebeard Pirates gets his extra paralysis and despair removal in his captain ability. It allows him to get like that extra cooldown reduction, all that fun stuff as well. So really, really cool idea. However, in true OPTC fashion, I think it is very, very poor execution. And the reason for that is because we are in an era where the game is 11 years old and we have so many characters in the game, and literally like 90% of them don't actually have tags. Now, they've done a pretty good job at going back and giving all the legends and exclusive characters some sort of tag. However, there are characters in the game that would work in perfect situations that don't have tags. For example, if we're looking at PvP, the PvP realm, using Straw Hats for Nami's passive, she needs 4 Straw Hats on the team to get all the extra buffs. And then if you say you wanted to throw Bonnie on the team where you need 6 strikers, there is a striker Frankie in the game, which obviously is a Straw Hat character. It's a Wano Frankie. He's a free-to-play character. He is a Psy striker, which would work perfect over on a striker team. However, he doesn't have his tags yet. So it's a bit unfortunate that you can't then build certain things with those types of characters who are obviously of a particular tag. I feel like they could have easily just done like a blanket sweep and just gone, okay, every Usopp in the game is a Straw Hat Pirate. Like every Frankie from post Wano Water 7 is a Straw Hat Pirate. Just those real basic tags I think would be very, very easy to do. But I do understand that it is a pretty big deal to try and go back and give all these characters tags, because like I said, we are in an era where the game is 11 years old and we have so many units in so many characters in the game. So I understand it's not as easy as just like clicking a button and saying Straw Hat tag search. But look, it's an 11-year-old game. Like the devs should have some sort of system to quickly implement them. And we know they can do it because if we look at the admirals from the free-to-play batch that got level limit breaks, they also gave them tags. So the way that I think that they could rectify this is every month, and I think Todd said this in one of his videos, every month they should just devote that month to a particular arc or a particular category of characters and just funnel in on that particular tag. If we take a look at the last month, it's been fucking all over the place. We had the 11th anniversary finishing with the Egghead manga stuff. Then we went into a summer batch, which makes sense because it is obviously the time of the Summer Girls releases. It's a big selling point for Bandai. It's a very big selling point for the game because, look, let's be real, like horny boys like boobs. Like it's just the way it is. So they released the Summer Girls batch that are still strikers, and the whole month has been revolved around strikers, which is good. So they've got the right idea in mind of keeping it close to one particular target. But with the tag system, they've gone, all right, we're going to go all these Summer Girls that need all these particular tags of Summer Girls or Straw Hat characters for Nami, yada, yada, yada. And then we've moved into a treasure map batch, which is Ace, and it's built up around the Whitebeard Pirates, which is just like, why? Like, why have we moved into that? Like, don't get me wrong, Ace is a fantastic character and synergizes really, really well with the Rocks Pirates, being the Roger, not Roger, the Olin, Shiki, and Whitebeard. However, Whitebeard is part of the Rocks Pirates. He's not actually a Whitebeard pirate. So then you give him a tag that's Whitebeard Pirates for Ace, but then this new shiny toy that's a Super Sugo, very illustrious character that everyone summoned for is not actually on that tag. It just doesn't make that much sense. It should have been like Logia and Paramecia. Whitebeard Pirates and Paramecia. Just to include something like all Whitebeards. So, I don't really know what they were thinking in that sort of regard. But then on top of that, they've doubled down and gone, okay, well now we have a Kazuna batch and we're releasing a new Miss All Sunday and Mr. Zero that's based up around the Baroque works and the Seven Warlords, which Seven Warlords have not featured in any of the latest batches. They are not part of the Whitebeard Pirates. They are not part of the Summer Girls batch. Hell, they're not even, this Markano, fantastic support. They're not even a part of the 11th anniversary stuff. So it's so left field. If they basically just said, okay, we've come to the end of the Egghead stuff, the Rocks Pirates, Roger Rayleigh Gaban, and now we're going to focus in on the tag of Egghead, for example, or like I said, even pivot then and go to something like the waifus because it's the summer batch. Make this whole month about the waifus. Make it all about Straw Hats. Make it all about the Wano tier because of Otama and Yamato. Give everything a correlation. Keep it all striker-centric, but make the characters work within the certain tags. Trying to build for this particular super boss has been incredibly frustrating because to get all your pieces of your puzzles to work, it's like, okay, well, I need to bring all of the tags for Robin and Crocodile, which look, isn't that hard to do because they have a pretty good tag system with like Paramecia and Logia uses and stuff like that too, which is, again, a positive to the tag system that I will touch on too. Don't worry, this is not exactly just a full negative rant. You do want to try and include those types of characters, which can just fall into place, but then you also need to bring certain characters of the certain name around that type of area to then work with that character to get certain abilities. And then Ace, you want to have 3 Whitebeard Pirates on the team or characters within that certain name. And now, look, since 2 Super Tandems, since EXs, all that kind of stuff, this has always been a problem that's sort of fallen into the game and something that we have to work around. But with tags and some characters not having their tags, that's the big drawing point. So the negative side of things is that I think if you went into the game and made the whole game based around the summer characters, went into the game, gave every single summer character a tag, even these crappy units like right here, like give this pudding tags, like there's no tags. So just go through, give all the characters tags, and then next month for the end of month batch, whatever you're centering that month around, go back and give tags to all those characters. They did it with the free-to-play Navy Admirals. They gave them level limit breaks. Do give level limit breaks to all these older characters. They don't have to be super relevant, but at the same time, we would like to see some sort of relevance for them, besides literally just being like, all right, that's a mad support. So that's my rant on the negative side of things. The positive side of things, though, is they do kind of see that it is still building, and obviously, as time goes on, they are eventually going to get to pretty much every single character. I can confidently say that given the law of big numbers, as more time goes on, they will eventually just get to the point where, okay, every character now has all of the correct tags that they need. But in the meantime, in the lead up to that, they have kind of addressed, all right, well, we understand that this is going to impact the playing style of it. Really another Shanks Whitebeard, that's crazy. That's going to impact the playing style and the fun factor for a lot of people. So they have included a lot of tags on characters to allow you to sort of keep the team building flow nice and free. And I take the Robin and Crocodile as an example. They have like Logia, Paramecia, 7 Warlords, and Baroque Works. Obviously, Baroque Works get like the biggest buffs, and then 7 Warlords get obviously a bigger buff as well. But they just threw Logia and Paramecia on there because obviously Robin is a Paramecia unit and Crocodile is a Logia unit. So it just allows you to just bring other characters that have those tags that are still very, very strong, that are obviously striker-centric. For example, the Rocks Pirates, perfect example being Paramecia. Throw them on the team, you can still get some sort of synergy there. Ace being a Logia unit, you can still get some sort of synergy there. Ace is another really good example. Ace has the, I believe it's the Mythical Zoan tag for stuff like Yamato characters and Gear 5 characters, and then he also has Paramecia in his tag for Whitebeard Pirates, but specifically he has Whitebeard Pirates for his captain ability. So I do want to give them credit for that regard. They have sort of not taken it into consideration, but like still taken it a little bit into consideration and said, all right, look, we understand we don't have all the characters with all their tags, but we've basically given these characters other tags to help them flourish within the meta and through the flow of team building. So love the tag system. I think it's a fantastic idea. Ever since Wiping and Ace came out, like, that character is so much fun. Obviously, they're not, like, meta-defining, and they're not breaking the scaffolds of, oh my god, this is, like, the best team in the game. You have to run this guy as captain and then run all these other characters. But at the same time, it's just fun. Like, it's just so much fun to sort of throw that team together and then have, like, Odin doing increased damage taken or Vista doing increased damage taken, no matter what character you put on the team. It's just so much fun. Another law too. Jesus Christ, these tickets have been bad. It's just so much fun to throw Kizaru as a captain and then just use those free-to-play Navy Admirals as substitute characters and just get all of the buffs for a brand new shiny toy with free-to-play characters that are super accessible, super easy to farm, and actually strong units. Again, they're not like game-breaking, meta-defining units like, oh my god, like, I have to bring this character every single time. But at the same time, you can clear a lot of content. A lot of new players can kind of come back to the game, pick up Kizaru, go farm up those characters, and then just blitz through stuff. So, like I said, the easiest fix in my eyes is to just, like, tunnel vision in on a month of characters and give old characters level limit breaks. Give old characters all their tags. For example, if we went back and did level limit breaks for some of the old summer batches, what if we had like a level limit break for Rare Recruit Robin? That character is still so viable in the meta today. If they gave her a level limit break and increased all her stuff to 6 turns, again, not too disgustingly broken, but like 6 turns of defense up, damage reduction, and threshold compared to 5 is just such a massive difference in my eyes. And it's something that would, again, just be a lot of fun for players to just get their hands on a very old character that is now a little bit better to help them clear content. And obviously you need 10 copies of the character to get that done. But like the Viola from that batch is incredible for Grand Voyage. It would help players with Grand Voyage. The Rebecca from that batch, also incredible. Just increase that 1.75 color affinity to 2.25 or even 2 times. I wouldn't care too much about. So I think it's very easy for them to sort of, again, look at what they already have in the game, give them extra buffs, give them all their tags, so that way they function well with the characters that they are releasing or within different aspects of team building. So that's the rant on the good old tag system. Like I said, overall, like, it is very exciting. I'm a big fan of it, and I think it's going to be great for the game moving forward. It's just right now we're in a bit of a limbo and a bit of a time frame where we're just in this kind of lull period of, okay, I wish this character had a tag, when obviously they are. Take that Frankie, for example, where I wanted to just throw him on the team. He's a 20 cost unit. I wanted to throw him on a team as a striker side character that had the free, oh, that's good. I'll take that. That has the Straw Hat tag, but lo and behold, he actually does not. And like I said, there's always going to be ways around it. Like, you can always pivot and do other things. It just, for me as like a team builder, like, it just grinds my gear, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could do this. But at the same time, like, there's always never going to be a perfect situation where everything sort of falls into play all the time. So kudos to Bandai. Like, the tag system is great, but I just think that they could do it a little bit better, and I think the execution could just be a little bit more on point. But that's my tag about the Rant system. As for the rest of the game, I think, like, post 11th anniversary, we did the state of the game with Papi. I think the game's actually, like, doing fairly well. I think it's in a pretty good spot for some of the stuff they worked with. So I think OPTC is, like, it's in a pretty good place. Obviously, like, coming off a big celebration is always going to be a little bit challenging to back that up. And obviously with the timeline leading into One Piece Day so quickly, makes it a little bit hard. But obviously, like, the 11th anniversary had its issues with the amount of banners, the amount of characters, and all that kind of stuff. But I think they gave us a pretty reasonable amount of gems to try and uphold how many summons you could do. Walking away with every character obviously can be pretty tricky, even if you do spend money on the game. Like, sometimes it can be a little bit hard. But at the same time, like I said, I think they did a pretty good job to sort of uphold the summoning economy, as well as, like, giving us enough resources and time to play the game. But let me know how you guys are feeling about the game right now, because like I said, we're in a bit of a lull period when it comes to the summer month and all of this fun stuff in the lead up to another Rayleigh 2, Jesus Christ. In the lead up to these big celebrations, One Piece Day, literally, like, as of me recording this, it's probably only like a week away, which is a crazy feat, seeing as, like, we literally had 5 Super Sugos release over the last 2 months, and now we're going to move into a celebration where there's a really good chance that they do something similar to what they did last year. Last year, we obviously had the Versus batches where we had 3 Super Sugo characters. We also had we had 4, actually. We had Ori and Yamato as well. So the best way I like to approach these particular celebrations is the first batch, so the Verse, Luffy, and Kaido, and then the Ori and Yamato last year, they tend to be the better characters for longevity. And when I say that, I mean, throughout the entire One Piece Day celebration, like that character was upholding its own. It was a staple across multiple different teams, obviously being a verse unit, and then Oren Yamato being just as disgustingly broken as she is. Those two characters just held their place through the entire month and a bit. So you're just going to get the most value out of boosted lists and stuff like that with those types of characters. On top of that, looking back at the celebration, now that we're almost a year out, whilst verse Kid and verse Shanks, exceptional character, whilst verse Blackbeard and verse Law, like verse Law's obviously getting a massive glow up right now with all of the striker support, but like verse Law, verse Blackbeard, when he came out, he was like disgustingly broken. Verse Luffy and like the free spirit meta has always just another Bonnie, bro. Like, come on, give us the dupes we need. Verse Luffy has just sort of shone tenfold. Verse Kaido even still holds a very strong place in Rumble, so you can do some pretty crazy things. And obviously Oren Yamato is just an absolute beast everywhere in the game. She's just like one of the most valuable units to own across the board. So if you guys are intelligent and you have not summoned since the end of the 11th anniversary, you should have a pretty good stockpile of gems ready to go. You might not be exactly where you want to be, but moving into part 1 of the One Piece Day celebration is always a very exciting time, and you should be in a very good spot for doing some summons. For myself, we had the login packs, not the login packs. We had the level up packs. They obviously refreshed, as you guys saw. We actually did some tickets. We had some tickets for those packs as well. Those packs actually refreshed, which gives a lot of gems to a lot of players. So that's always very, very good. Obviously, I did a few more summons than I would have liked to have done. And spend a few, like Super Boss, because, you know, like, it always gets me, bro. It always gets me. We got lucky on the discounts for Ace, so that was always a good time. But other than that, like, treasure map banners nowadays are pretty skippable. There's no real treasure map banner that's like, besides like Nami Karina, I can't really think of a treasure map batch that has been like so game breaking. I'm a really big fan of this Ace, but like, he definitely is a character you could have just like sort of just quickly scanned past and just moved on. And obviously this Super Boss Kazuna batch is realistically only going to be viable for Super Boss. But you guys know me. You guys know me. Super Boss is where I like to play. In terms of fun factor, for me, Super Boss is the most fun I can have. It's an area that I really enjoy besides PvP. So these types of banners for me are always ones that are going to get me. And then obviously the illustrious anniversary, Super Sugos, all those types of banners definitely other place to summon. But let me know how your summons went for the 11th anniversary as well. How are you looking for character wise? And again, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys want to see from particular teams for these types of events that are coming up. We are still going on these tickets, which is just absolutely crazy. So I do probably have to get around to this at least once a month, not once every 2 months. But obviously things have been a little bit crazy lately, and there has been a lot to talk about too. So another Roger Rally one. Jesus, we're getting so many dupes from the same tickets, but like, if I want dupes, like, give me another Halloween Uta, give me another Usopp Lilith, like, give me those types of characters. They're the ones that I'm looking for, not like Rayleigh Gibbons and Bonnie. Like, come on, lad, like, just please see what else we got here. As for everything else in the game, I think, like I said, I think OPTC is actually in a pretty good spot. I think with the release of Assault Rumble and, are you joking? That had to be like a special ticket. That was crazy. There's like no way that was just like a... Oh, okay, so it's a one-piece card artwork. All right. I was going to say, there's no way we just pulled 2 Rages back-to-back on like a regular, like on just like a random ticket. But I believe it's just like an artwork card, so there's probably only like 4 characters that we could pull from this. Is that PvP Sanji? That's PvP Sanji. That's really good. The fact he's on a ticket is crazy. Was that just like a One Piece Day, like a One Piece card ticket? Love that. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I think the cycle's in actually a pretty good spot right now. There always seems to be something to do in OPTC, but at the same time, it doesn't seem to take up like a disgusting amount of time to sort of log in and do everything. As for PvP, obviously I'm a massive PvP fan. Grand Party and Assault Rumble, I'm big fans of the game mode, but at the end of the day, like, they just stem from PvP, the central game mode that sort of built up those two. Grand Party obviously is getting a lot of fun with the tag system. That's actually something I didn't touch on when I did my tag system rant. The way they're implementing tag system into Grand Party, for me, is just, it's so beautiful. To have a leader with certain tags get like buffs to the entire team, it's just way... So I love that feature. Just having a tag as a leader, then just giving buffs to the entire team is really fun. It opens the door to so many characters as well. Like Wiping and Ace has been getting so much love in Grand Party because their burst is so hard to get, but when you give them a minus 40% reduction, like all of a sudden, like it becomes very easy to get, and with the power of that burst, it's so much fun to use. So takes away from the fact of everyone just going, hey, I'm gonna run Gear 5 and it's going to work. So it just gives so much flexibility when it comes to building teams, and honestly, like I said, it just increases that fun factor by like tenfold. So big fan of them doing that. I think that's probably like one of the greatest things about the tag system in my eyes. It just putting it into a game mode that everyone thinks is done and dead, and just sort of revitalizing it a little bit with just, again, pure fun. We look at how much fun it was to run Kizaru last season with the tag system working in their favor. Obviously Kizaru being a fantastic leader anyway, but then just getting all the extra buffs for any team you want to run. You can just get his burst so much quicker, and just like I said, it just adds a whole different dimension to the game mode, which is exactly what I think a lot of these older game modes need. PKA, look, PKA's the talking point in the sense that everyone dislikes it so much, where they want clashes back and Colosseums back and all these places that can run any team, but like that's PKA. PKA is exactly that. You can basically run anything you like. Obviously you want to try and get boosted characters on there and try and get as many drops as possible, but at the same time, like once you hit level 150 to 200, like it really doesn't matter. Like you're getting all your totals from your mini bosses anyway, so that's the way you should be playing it. And then you just utilize that last fight as a clash. You can run anything you like. Just take your time with the content like you would do with a regular clash or with an old school Colosseum. So I don't really see the gripes for that game mode. I think it's absolutely fine. But let me know in the comment section below what your favorite game mode is, where you like to play OPTC, and how much fun you're having with the game right now, because I think that's the big talking point. How much fun are you having with OPTC, and how much fun do you expect to get out of it moving forward? Because for an 11-year-old game to still be implementing different factors to build different dimensions for older players, whilst also being able to bring in new players with stuff like the Kizaru and Navy stuff, giving their tags, giving them level limit break buffs and making that easier. It's a really positive thing to see, and it's definitely something that they should continue moving forward. I think the devs are in a really good spot to sort of keep implementing these buffs and these improvements to the game without really changing the fundamentals of everything too much. And like I said, when we get more characters with more tags, when eventually, because I know they will eventually go back in and start giving level limit break buffs to older units, they just got to put the energy in, they just got to put the effort in to doing this sort of stuff. And again, they can do it to old rare recruit characters, they can do it to summonable characters, they can do it to these types of units that are in the game, in banners, allowing people to summon and just getting more out of older characters that they have. So yeah, just went back to the tag rant system, but how many more tickets do we have? Okay, so we're getting towards the end, because like I'm just running out of shit to talk about now. So 61 over the box limit, which is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Like I said, I really got to do this a little bit more often, or prepare a little bit more to talk about. The fact that we obviously have state of the game and stuff like that with the good old Papatron sort of takes away from a lot of these talking points, but it's obviously good to rehash them a little bit down the line. And look, they're listening, guys. I'm telling you right now, they do listen. Even 29 minutes into a ticket summoning video, they are listening out there. They're taking your feedback on board. They read the comment section. So keep it professional as much as you can. Keep it critical, and try not to focus too much on the negatives and how things can be better, rather than just how bad things seem. Because, like, whilst OPTC has its downs, it definitely has its ups, and I think that we should definitely be focusing on them too. Apologies about all the noise too. I am actually getting my tires replaced, and I was sitting in the car, but I was next to go in, and I started recording this video, so I thought, hey, I'll just come out onto the road and sort of do it, but now I've just got like 4 billion trucks that are just moving back and forth. So apologies for the background noise. Hopefully whoever's got this far in the video, give me a hashtag, like in the comment section below, not even hashtag, just these tickets have sucked. Like, they have actually sucked. Like, we've gotten some good level limit break dupes, but for me, I don't need any of these level limit break dupes. Started so strong with Usopp and Lilith. We got a Halloween Uta in there that I definitely can use. No new legends, which kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, like, tickets are tickets. If they end up being Rayleigh points, we can use Rayleigh points for gold. We can use it for cola.
we can use it for turtles. Like, it's always going to be used somewhere. So at the end of the day, tickets are always a positive thing in the game, and whilst they shouldn't replace, you know, gems in login, but they can still hold some value. But like I said, let me know in the comment section below if you guys bought anything new. Hopefully the summer tickets like helped you guys too. The summer tickets were fantastic. I think having access to some of those supports for everyone now is a really, really good thing. And like I said, hopefully your tickets were definitely a lot better than mine. But that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to go down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's